Hi, this is Jeff from Michigan Michael Chekhov classes. This is day 5 of my Comedy of Errors solo project. And if you watched yesterday's video, I was talking a lot about story archetypes, and I went through each and every one of the characters and put them all into story archetypes, which helps me to tell the overall story. But now I'm thinking more about the character archetype for each character. And today I'm kind of working on Egean, since I've already really memorized that opening monologue. I've turned a lot of his dialogue, like I said before, into a long monologue. And I was thinking what kind of character archetype I could use for Egean. And, the first thing that came to mind was the fact that his name is Egean. He's named after the sea. Shakespeare named him after the sea. And that's a big clue of what kind of person he is. He's a sea captain. He spent his whole life on the sea sailing. He was a merchant. He was a merchant captain, or a captain of a merchant ship, until the big shipwreck. And then later on, he ends up sailing across the globe looking for his wife and his other son, and maybe the other attendant too, but I don't think that's as important to him. Sign of the times. But I really had the idea of sea captain. What's great about the Comedy of Errors is that I can really explore archetypes heavily with each and every one of these characters, because they're so broadly written. And especially because I'm doing a solo show, I really need to make sure that each archetype is very, very clear, so that I can differentiate each character and the audience can see which character I'm playing. And I just like to fall back on sort of these broad archetypes first. And then as I'm working on it, I'll find ways to make them more unique and less general. But where I'm at right now is definitely the sea captain archetype. Maybe tomorrow I'll explore all the different kind of archetypes that Egean might fall under. But today, and for the past couple of weeks, I've been really working on the sea captain, the grizzled sea captain archetype for him, which I also think will be a lot of fun. So this is where I'm at with him, and I thought I would give you a little taste of what I'm working on. A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, not by vile intent, I'll utter what my sorrows give me leave. In Syracuse was I born, and wed unto a woman, happy but for me and by me, had not our hap been bad. With her I lived in joy. Our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made to Epidamnum, till my factor's death and the great care of goods at random left drew me from the kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old before herself, almost at fainting under the pleasing punishment that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became the joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and which was strange, the one so like the other as could not be distinguished but by names. That very hour, and in that self-same inn, a meaner woman of such a burden was delivered, male twins, both alike. Those, for their parents were exceeding poor, I bought and brought up to attend my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of 2 such boys, had made daily motion for our home return. Unwilling, I agreed. We came aboard. A league from Epidamnum had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep gave any tragic instance of our harm. Yet longer could we not retain much hope, for what obscured light the heavens did grant did but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death, which though myself would gladly have embraced, Yet the incessant weepings of my wife and the piteous plainings of the pretty babes forced me to make delays for them and me. And this it was, for other means was none. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened him unto a small spare mast. To him one of the other twins was bound, whilst I had been like heedful of the others. The children thus disposed, my wife and I fastened ourselves at either end of the mast, and, floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried toward Corinth, as we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us. And, by benefit of his wished light, the seas waxed calm, and we discovered 2 ships from far, making amain to us. Of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this. But ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst, and in this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in, what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind. And in our sight they 3 were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship had seized on us, and knowing who it was their hap to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked guests, and would have reft the fishers of their prey, had not their bark been very slow of sail. And therefore homeward did they bend their course. My youngest son, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became acquisitive after his brother, and importuned me that his attendant, so his case was like, reft of his brother, but retained his name, might accompany him in the quest of him, whom though I labored of a love to see, I hazarded the loss of whom I loved. 5 summers have I spent in furthest Greece, roaming clean through the bounds of Asia, and coasting homeward came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought or that or any place that harbors men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me they live. So that's where I'm at right now. I know I have a lot of work to do, but let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it and whether this monologue is too big. This is what opens the show pretty much. Again, like, subscribe, share this, please. It would really help me out a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow.